Well, how are you doing?
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you doing? Is this nominations, but is this nerve-wracking at all?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, this is just only my second sort of media event in the UK, so I'm holding myself together just.
Tell me about the past year and really see what you've been up to.
Well, my debut album, A New World, I launched it back home in New Zealand just before Christmas. Went platinum there leading up to Christmas, and now I'm back here in the UK preparing for the launch, which is here in September.
And so the Classical Brit nominations, I mean the awards themselves, is it something that you've watched and you're aware of at home? What does it mean to you?
Oh, very much so. I attended actually last year, May last year. I was at the awards, my first red carpet event, and just to be here with all the my fellow UCJ artists and other artists, it's a very special thing for any singer.
What does a nomination mean?
I think to be recognised by the industry people, and also if it's for public vote, I think it's just an indication of what you've achieved, and so that would be a real dream scenario for me one day. Oh, thank you. Indeed.
Sorry, hello.
Sure. Hi, sir.
The crossover between the classical generation and the pop generation, how much do you feel that you can be one of that sort of bridge in terms of youth and popularity?
I think I'm all about that, about classical crossover. This idea of finding that middle ground between classical and contemporary music, making sure that you don't offend anyone, obviously. So doing justice to the music, but being young as well. I think it'll give me an advantage to move with it and enjoy being in this modern time, I think.
What artists currently out there at the moment do you draw inspiration?
I think anyone doing the classical crossover thing, particularly obviously there's my New Zealand counterpart Hayley Westner. She's doing very well, and I mean she's a good reason why I'm here right now. That if a girl can do it, surely a guy can jump up and try his very best. So I think also within classical crossover there's so many different little sort of mini genres, and I'm going to do my best to cement my place as sort of as an individual, as a just with my take on that. On classical crossover, I think.
And how would you classify that genre, bearing in mind the take that you're taking on it?
Right. I think it still is establishing itself for the public at least what classical crossover actually is. I'm steering clear from the opera side of things. There's not a lot of opera about what I do. I'm not performing opera repertoire. My voice isn't operatic. I basically intend to take classical music, perform it in a contemporary way so that as many people as possible, young and old, can enjoy it.
What made you decide to move from sport into
Us Kiwi boys, we were all into sport, but I think it was just my first experience on the stage. I was 14 years old, and something just changed. Within me there was a complete and utter I'm going to go for performance, and since then I haven't looked back. Still watch sport at every opportunity, but yeah, I'm a dream.
Hi Lawrence, nice to meet you.
Hi.
So, you performing here tonight?
That's right.
Any nerves?
No, not really. It just seems to be a really lovely event to be involved with. You know, it's sort of anything that makes classical music more, popular and more appreciated is a good thing. So it's nice to be part of that.
So what are you going to be performing, and how did you decide,
Well, I think we're starting the evening this evening, so we're playing this piece by Prokofiev, a very famous piece by him called Dance of the Night, from the Romeo and Juliet ballet, which is one of the most famous sort of numbers in that piece. And we're playing a piece that's been arranged for viola, my instrument, and piano. So that's what we're going to be playing.
Is there a sort of, there seems to be a very young section this year in classical music. Do you feel like there's like a real movement now and the young talent is getting a break and shining?
I think so. I hope so. I think it's a very exciting time to be involved with classical music now, actually. Of course, there's lots of crossover stuff going on, and what I do is sort of quite separate from that. But I think there's a general sort of excitement about perhaps young artists coming through classical music now. And also in England, there's so many wonderful young artists coming through, and I feel it's a very exciting time to be part of that. And also now with downloading music, you know, it's much easier for people to be involved and listen to classical music. And I think I'm really interested to see the way that goes.
And what does the nomination mean to you? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it's such a subjective thing, music. But I mean, it's always nice to think if someone's appreciated your work, then that's really nice. And because one puts so much effort and time and love into what you do, and when someone recognises that, then of course it's a nice thing. It really is. It's great.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. Great. Cheers. So what's this one? This is
Associated Press.
Associated Press. Fantastic. Great. Fantastic. Cheers.
Just look over this way. Just look over this way. Sorry. It's only because we were interviewing Lawrence while you arrived, so he was on to you, so we couldn't get a shot. Can I ask you to group in quite tightly? Yeah. Great, thank you. Right. And if you could introduce yourselves from left to right.
I'm Bryony James.
Natalia Gomez.
Jenny Sasha.
Carenza Peacock.
And you are?
The Pavao Quartet.
Lovely to meet you. Thanks very much for stopping by. So is this an exciting event to be part of? And what do classical records mean to you?
Well, I think they're great because they get classical music to a much wider audience, and we're very excited to be nominated for an award.
And how would you class yourselves? Would you say that you're sort of crossover, or are you kind of purist, or?
I think we see ourselves as a very serious quartet who enjoy doing other things as well. So at the heart of our being is sort of serious classical repertoire, but we enjoy doing lighter things as well.
So tell me about the past year and really, what have you been up to?
We've been to China and Warsaw and all sorts of exciting places.
Been very busy recording CDs. In fact, I think last Christmas we did one for Breakthrough Breast Cancer. It did really well, and we've just recorded our fourth one now. Should be coming out soon. Yeah, so we've been just performing all over the world, really.
And who inspires you? Where do you sort of look to?
We were coached at the Royal Academy by the Amadeus Quartet, two members of the Amadeus Quartet, and the Alberni Quartet as well. So all the great quartets really. We love dabbling in a bit of jazz, so a lot of jazz artists are very inspiring, like Stefan Grappelli and
Andrew Lloyd Webber's getting recognition for his body's work. What do you think about him?
Well, we've actually worked quite a lot with Andrew, playing on lots of recording sessions for his music and films and shows and things. And I think it's great because he gets so involved with the musical scene in London, and so many people have worked with him and such a variety of musicians. So I think it's great.
I think shows like the Maria Show and the Joseph Show and Oliver, which is happening at the moment, has brought a lot more people to the West End, which has got to be a good thing.
Enjoy the evening, ladies, and catch up with you later. Thank you, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Very glamorous evening. Thank you.
And Sophie, just nice to this one here. And once more to this one here, thank you.
love it.
This is the first Classical Brit nominations you've been to, and really what do you think about, the awards themselves and sort of to be here this evening?
Yeah. Well, it's a great honour to be asked. It is my first time here, so it's wonderful to be here and absorb the atmosphere that everyone gets very excited about it. And the Classical Brits are a great opportunity for classical musicians to get their names recognised, and it's fantastic competition or recognition of the work that people do.
What does a nomination do for you as an artist?
Well, I think it just makes people more aware, and again, it's a recognition of the work that you put in and that you're, achieving what you wish to.
And how would you say, is it a very youthful scene at the moment? It's a lot of burgeoning talent coming through, and it's exciting to be part of that. And do you have friends? And is it like a scene that you're part of, really?
Yes, well, it is definitely a young group of people coming through that I think is it's fantastic that the Brits can recognise that it is a new classical music scene. Yeah.
And so who inspires you, and who sort of amongst your peers, but also maybe from more established artists?
Well, my great heroes are pianists like Dino Lopati and Martha Agaric, so kind of old school. Yeah.
Very true. And really, the past year, what have you been up to, and what have been the highlights?
Oh, this last year, well, winning the BBC Classical Star competition, and my CD's coming out in June, so that they're going to be the highlights. It hasn't quite finished yet, I think.
And are the same pressures that are placed on you as there are in the more popular music arena? Do you feel that, and are you comfortable in the spotlight?
Yeah, I think it's something that all classical musicians have to get used to, is being in the spotlight, because in the old days, it was a very different style. I think now with CDs and everything, it's becoming more, involved and more media friendly.
And what kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to everything, lots of classical music, but Radiohead, Coldplay, all kinds.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.
No, that's for me. I need it tonight.
You look great. How are you doing?
I'm actually desperately in need of this. Almost every time I pick that up to have a drink, someone has come and said, I haven't seen you in years. So it's nice. How are you?
Really great. I always love coming to this event.
Well, the thing is, no one's going to be sick over here. No one is going to die. It's all very civilized, and they might even call you ma'am and buy you a brandy afterwards.
Sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like a good night. But it's been a very youthful contingent who've walked in front of me so far.
Really?
Do you think that's a reflection of sort of like the burgeoning talent coming through and?
Or desperation, which I honestly think that with the mess that is being made by one record company of the pop industry and the rock industry, what's happening is that there is room at the moment for young, talented classical artists to come through. The problem then will be, you've got this great well of talent, Jock Trobe and all these people who are really massively talented. Where do they go next? And that's, I think, what this evening is about. We launch it, we do the Brits. Brits are carried worldwide, as you know, now the classical Brits are. And then people have to say, okay, that's a launch pad, now what's next?
Where do you see the market at the moment in terms of classical music? There's always a talk of crossover, mainstream, purist, There's room for everyone, isn't there?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. I hate the word crossover. I've never understood. Media is another word I don't understand. What does it mean? As far as crossover and media is concerned, chuck them in the bin. And then you also have to say that purist. Well, great. Purist means you're going to listen to Jussi Björling on a 7/8 RPM record. There's no such thing. I paid earlier this year, and I'm no opera fan, 150 quid to go and see Anna Netrebko. Eye-watering stuff. I didn't buy a glass of champagne in Tony Hall's bar, but I sat there and I reeled out of it. I don't like opera. And I was weeping. I had to be helped out of the bar, well, later on, admittedly. But it was one of those fantastic moments. And it's a fantastic moment that works if you go to the movies, if you read a great book, or you're sitting cuddled up to a rerun of To Have and Have Not. You know, it's the same thing. It's about emotion. And that's what I think great music is about, whether it's rock and roll, Creedence Clearwater Revival, or whether it's Anna Netrebko. Though I think I'd rather go out with Anna Netrebko than I would CCR.
Let's talk about another big name in classical music and in music generally, Lloyd Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber, who seems to be doing very well in reality television these days. Not Kevin Spacey's favourite man, I understand.
Indeed. And I think he might
But you're not going to touch that, are you?
Maybe he may be challenging Simon Cowell for his crown, but being recognised with achievement award, some would say long overdue.
I think Andrew is one of the most magnificently entrepreneurial people. He's also very charming, and maybe that's the good combination. I suspect he's silent but deadly as well. But whenever I've met him, he's been very pleasant, but he does a great deal for the theatre. He has his obsession about musical theatre, but at the moment, what's the future? Is the future going to be Oliver? And is the future going to be that sort of thing with Andrew? I suspect he'll, when this is over, and when Oliver is well and truly launched at the Palladium, I think he'll take a back step and become more enthusiastic about the theatre, and I would quite like that.
And just going back to Kevin Spacey, what are your views?
Let's get real. The BBC's outrageous, and it should be deeply ashamed of itself. It's fine to have Oliver, and I'm all in favour of it. It has to do other stuff. Now, I don't know how the budgets work on Oliver, but I suspect the corporation is paying for everything. Well, that's our money. So fine, go for something populist like Oliver. I see no representation whatever outside of obscure 30-minute programmes on BBC Two of what else is going on in theatre and in music. So you can't have your cake and eat it. You can't be a giant monopoly and say, isn't it great, we do Oliver, and we are on board in a major way with Andrew Lloyd Webber. You have to do other things as well. And you have to look at the whole gamut of what is great in this country, which is the arts. There's another word I don't like.
It's nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
It's really weird. We've never able to come to events. Never had a classical fan. It's great to be part of that. And it doesn't feel as long as maybe I thought it would. It's just that it's a long time upstairs. It feels a bit weird. Really exciting. I've gained a lot of time. I find that everything works a lot quicker. I've got spending too much time working with everybody, styling, makeup, and all the different things we do. So I've gained a lot of time, but I've lost a lot of weight. So it's kind of a toss up, but I'm very, very happy doing it. I've got an amazing team around me that give me all the support I need.
So touring isn't too much of a problem for you?
I haven't done one yet, but we're say the autumn, and I'm not daunted by it. I think it's just going to be an exciting new experience. It's amazing to be here performing and stuff. Unfortunately, the album was out just after the nomination period, but cross fingers next year, I may get to another one. So in the runnings in there now, so hopefully I'll be collecting one of these things on the stage. I think it's incredibly important. I think it's evident throughout so many TV mediums now that classical music is becoming more and more popular. There's so many.
Just get you nicely framed.
Cool.
Right there, darling. I like to see you're favouring the skinny tie today.
Yeah, skinny tie.
Very important. How's it going?
Really well, thank you. Yeah, it's all good. I'm really just pleased to be part of this. It's good fun.
Just going back, picking up a little bit on Bohemian. You know, how's it feel to be a solo artist?
It's different and odd, but incredibly exciting, and it's great that you can have a lot more spontaneity, and things are just a lot quicker. And I I love being as proactive as possible, and the opportunities you get on your own are fantastic. And although I miss the other guys, we're still in touch, good mates. I'm really, really excited to be doing what I'm doing.
And it seems that it's a very youthful crowd here tonight, and is that reflective of generally what's going on in the classical arena? Is it the burgeoning talents finally sort of coming through?
I think classical music is becoming more and more accessible through both the music and the appearance of us musicians now. We're younger, we're more accessible in our styling with our approach to stuff, and I think that's definitely opening the door for people to listen to it who maybe never did. And yeah, there's a huge young mix of us here tonight, and I think that's a really exciting thing for classical music.
Congratulations on the last album.
Thank you.
What's next year sort of lie ahead, and sort of what are your hopes and ambitions?
I've got loads of different things. On Thursday is a broadcaster Come Dine With Me. I just did a recording of that, and it's the first of their new series. That's going to be great fun. I've got a load of summer gigs outside prom style events, hopefully a tour in the autumn, and a new album at Christmas. We've got a meeting next week, so it's all very exciting and busy, and I'm over the moon. It's amazing.
How would you describe yourself? I was just talking to Simon, and he was getting quite sort of passionate about, you know, crossover and purist, and he was saying, you know, he doesn't like these labels, but, you know, there are obviously different, you know, it's a whole spectrum within classical music, but where would you place yourself?
I'm a classical crossover artist, but it is unfortunate having to define us like that. I think in America people are far more accessible to just say you're a singer, you're a performer, you're an artist. I don't think anyone's ever labelled Josh Groban as a crossover classical artist. He's just a fantastic singer who sells millions of albums. And I think that what's starting to happen now in the British market is that we're breaking those barriers down, and people are just buying the music for the music, and it's not all about distinctions. So.
And who inspires you?
All sorts of people. Sadly, the late Pavarotti was a massive inspiration for me. I heard he was one of the first voices I ever heard, and he carried me through the whole of my development as a child, enjoying singing, and an amazing inspiration. But along with that, Juan Diego Flores, I think, is sensational, and his easy access to the top register is something that I just adore, and I find it so exciting to watch. I saw him at the Albert Hall, and just so exciting, and I think more people should listen to him.
And newly married.
Newly married. There you go. Didn't even know that one.
Oh, you should have seen his wedding. It was like Charles and Diana.
Really?
Honestly.
Fantastic.
It was
Fantastic.
And then just finally, Andrew Lloyd Webber has been recognised at the Classical Brits this year. Influence on you? And
Lloyd Webber stuff, definitely. I think one of my earliest songs I used to sing was Aspects of Love, Love Changes Everything. It, at the time, just really connected with me, and I had a great fun time performing at little concerts around West Sussex, where I was growing up as a child. And definitely lots of his music really just connected with me as I grew up, and I think it's fantastic that he's now here in the Classical Brits getting more acclaim for his work.
Can I just ask you to do a sort of a stage setup shot?
Yeah.
Because we didn't manage to get a cutaway. Can I get you to stand against
Stand in
the
and
board?
walk over.
Yeah.
Right.
Sort of, you hold it for a second. And maybe look over there. Could you just do a few fractions just so it's like... Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Thanks very much for your time. It's been great. Cheers.
Cool, thank you. Reframe.
So you're performing here tonight. Tell me what you're performing and why you chose this.
I'm going to be performing My Own True Love from Gone with the Wind. It's from my new album, and I'm doing it acoustically with an old friend on the piano, Tim Maple, and it's going to be really, really nice to do it at such an amazing event.
Is it more nerve-wracking in a way, sort of to be, you know, sort of playing, you know, you got Simon Bates and people and friends and people?
I find small venues more nerve-wracking, and although there's a lot of big faces, big names here, the fact it's intimate and small is daunting enough, and then the fact there's names on top and there's incredibly influential people will definitely get the butterflies going, but hopefully they'll add to the performance and not freak me out too much.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Cheers. Goodbye. Thanks, mate.
All right. hat.
Thank you. I love my shoes.
I remember last year when you had those absolutely amazing red shoes. They were absolutely to die for.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine. I just got back from Calgary. This is why I'm a bit like I was doing the Juno Awards with Anne Murray, and I mean, you know, sort of like she's a legend, and I was singing a Snowboard Bird, which of course is a country song with her, so it's quite a departure, but it was fun.
Yeah, departure. Is that what it's about for you these days? Sort of setting yourself new challenges and finding things that sort of, you know, excite you?
Well, I think when you've had a sort of a 30-year long career, as I have, different things come into your life and new challenges, and it's actually really good fun to take them on. And of course, at that time, you have more experience, you have more courage, you just think, okay, I'm going to have a good time. Yeah.
Obviously, I have to ask you, Andrew is being rewarded and recognised at this year's Classical Brit. Just a word really about, you've been so close, well, you were married to not that much closer, but you know, sort of about his career and really what you think he's brought to the classical music world.
He's an amazing person, and I think he's done wonderful things for music. And the great thing about him is that he's always also really enjoyed the journey, his journey, and he's had huge amounts of courage. He has a huge passion for music. He loves classical music. He's also loved all the popular stuff as well. So I think, you know, for him to get many awards in his lifetime is a great thing, because he deserves them all.
And who inspires you at the moment? What excites you?
Oh, many things excite me. Not only music, art does, all sorts of things. So, and I find as I get older that I'm even more open to many other things. So I'm actually having a good time with it all.
And who would you like? Do you still have a wish list? People you'd like to work with?
Not really. I often find it's the music that you're working with that dictates the people that you work with. So I go along, and people that come into my life, or my life goes into other people's lives, is always challenging and always good fun, and you never know what's around the corner with it all.
And who do you think the stars are, the sort of burgeoning stars are? Who should we keep our eyes on?
Do you know, I always feel with artists and musicians that everybody's very, very individual. And for me, it's always very hard to say who should get awards or who you should be watching out for. So I always think that people with all of their talent, they just keep going forward, and they'll be recognised one way or the other. Thank you.
It was great to see you at the Juno Awards. We got the footage.
Oh, right. It was a laugh. Okay.
Do you think we could get a shot of you? Could I ask you what you're wearing first of all?
This is Vivienne Westwood, and these are Alexander McQueen boots.
Would it be possible to get a lovely tilt up of you?
Brilliant, thank you. Cheers.